quarterback.
Oh, there's a goal.
The NFL season just left this really sour taste in my mouth. I think it's happened to a lot of people. From the bad optics to ref fall to the Super Bowl where the Rams offense didn't show up, it was one that will be remembered in a less than favorable light. The good thing is that images can be rehabilitated. A league looking to capitalize on this is the Alliance of American Football, an entity surrounded by a bevy of experienced football men. They aren't looking to compete with the NFL, but perhaps fill a niche. There are many players that either never get the chance to shine or want another opportunity. This league will give them that chance. The resale market on tickets is comparable. Seats that may go unoccupied during a game can be sold to a fan that can be there. In a way, you can call SeatGeek a purveyor of such opportunities as well. As an app that sorts all tickets on the resale market to get you the best value, it will help in any endeavor. It color codes tickets from red to green on a 1 to 100 scale. It will give you a view from where you'll be sitting, and you can even get scanned into the game on the app. You don't need a second chance to click the link below and use the code word TREE, as it will save you $20 off your first purchase. Just a heads up, if you're interested, there are plenty of seats available for games right now. If you want to see what the AAF is about, just use SeatGeek. It's near foolproof. The AAF is trying to keep it simple with their inaugural season. 8 teams scattered throughout the United States, some in areas with an NFL team, some nowhere near a professional sports franchise. And San Diego because capitalize on a scorned market. There are some differences in rules from the NFL. There are no kickoffs, no extra points after touchdowns as they must go for 2. Only 5-man blitzes are allowed, and onside kicks are offensive plays as a 4th and 12 on their own 28-yard line. Since there are only 4 games, there isn't much football to analyze. But let's see how this first week went, shall we? The first game on the ledger included the Atlanta Legends against the Orlando Apollos. In the coaching ranks, we get some blasts from the past. Atlanta boasts the Minnesota Pain that was Brad Childress, who resigned a month before the season. I mean, you get the consolation prize of Michael Vick, the offensive coordinator. That's good, right? Orlando, though, they get a local legend behind them in Steve Spurrier. I have to say, I didn't realize Spurrier was that old. Maybe it's my age showing. Anyway, the first points in the league are scored by Young-Ho Koo. The fucking legend continues. Those would be the only highlights for Atlanta, whom was smashed to bits thanks to a combination of tactical outmaneuvering and strong defensive play. There was also a Philly special thrown in there for good measure. Just like the Falcons, the Legends take whatever hope Atlanta may have had for football and crushes it under the weight of their past failures. But hey, you'll always have Young-Ho Koo. God, what a legend. Game number 2 takes us to the Alamo Dome for a spirited battle between the San Antonio Commanders and my personal team, the San Diego Fleet. Insert tired hackneyed joke about Spanos here. Coaching San Antonio, Mike Riley, last known for driving the final nail in the coffin of Nebraska football. San Diego gets the architect of the greatest show on turf, Mike Martz. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Brings back the feels. Just like this game was, a strong defensive battle. In my mind, there are 2 types of defense-heavy games. One where the offenses are so inept that the D has to make plays, and one the defense forces turnovers and makes their own hay. This game was a little of both. The QB play was rough, but the defenses didn't make it easy for them. It was a strong duel until the end, but San Antonio prevailed in this war of attrition. It's only a week of play, but the Commanders' defense looks really solid. They keep this up and they may have a shot at a championship. And now they are officially fucked as I have given them support. The third bout takes us to Sunday and Legion Field for the inaugural matchup of the Memphis Express against the Birmingham Iron, which I want to say in a god-awful Yinzer dialect for reasons of cringe. The Iron are led by longtime football lifer Tim Lewis in his first head coaching role. Memphis gets the second coming of Mike Singletary. I wonder if he's going to drop his pants in the locker room like he did in San Francisco. Speaking of cringe, Memphis gets to experience it firsthand. Christian Hackenberg, a guy so horrible at throwing a football that he didn't play a down for the butt fumble. It was bad. Shades of awful that even Peter Meme would shake his head in disgust. On the other end, the Birmingham Iron looked like goddamn world beaters. Utter domination against their foes, only to hear the lamentation of the women whose husbands were trampled underneath their feet. The first shutout in league history led by a brick wall of a defense. A world where Trent fucking Richardson scores 2 touchdowns against a team. There's a name for ya. Their quarterback Luis Perez, dude was making some nice throws. All I'm going to say is if he keeps this up, he may have another NFL team calling him after the season. Impressive display. Just like one of your players getting arrested in a prostitution sting days before the game. The final game for the week draws us west to Sun Devil Stadium, home of the Arizona Hotshots as they play against the Salt Lake Stallions. Two old college coaching vets facing one another in Arizona's Rick Neuheisel and Salt Lake's Dennis Erickson. What we ended up getting was more of the offensive flair, Salt Lake unable to keep up with the Hotshots' relentless attack. In one game, this team may be better than the Cardinals. Okay, that's a stretch, but unlike that team, their AAF counterpart is at least watchable. And not run by an inept family who shits on a small town called Pottsville. Sorry, I have to get my cheap shots in when I can. Also, Nick Folk is here, the scorn of Tampa Bay kicking for years to come. All of the old memes are returning to life again. I love it. With 1 week of this fledgling league in the books, I have to say, the football is decent. There was a part of me that was expecting this to be a total shit show like the first iteration of the XFL, but this is looking promising. I was worried about football fatigue a week after the Super Bowl, but this honestly was refreshing. It felt pure. I don't know if this is something I'll be doing every week, but I'm interested to see how the AAF unfolds moving forward. There's potential here. I don't know if it's going to be anything amazing, but it has a strong shot of filling a niche. You have my attention, AAF. Good luck on the rest of your season, boys.
One-on-one, picks up the first down. Barkovici never saw the man coming, and he is lit up. Security when pressure comes in the pocket. Wow, he was completely blindsided. He had no idea.